Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Turns out Jaime Jaquez Jr., the Heat's steal of the draft, was always overlooked. The Miami Heat have had a spectacular history in recent years of finding and developing young talent. Whether it is taking advantage of steals in the draft or bringing in undrafted pieces, the Heat scouting department is top tier. Without having a top 10 selection in recent drafts, they have hit on all of Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro, Nikola Jovic and Jaime Jaquez Jr. Newly drafted 7-foot big man, Kel'el Ware, could be the next gem on this list. Jaquez was a pick that surprised a lot of people, including fans and rival teams. He wasn't a name that was reported to be heavily recruited by many. However, as the 18th pick of last year's draft, Jaquez would go on to earn all-rookie first-team honors in his first season. He averaged 11.9 points, 3.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.0 steals on 49/32/81 shooting splits across a team-high 75 games played. The young forward proved to be someone that can be relied upon to be available amongst an injury-riddled roster. Recently, Jaquez's former high school coach, D'Anthony Langston, spoke on how he was surprised that the rising Heat player fell so low in the draft. "A lot of people didn't recruit Jaime for whatever reason, and I thought they were nuts. He gave you whatever and played hard. Every player he went up against, he was just incredible. I just didn't understand how he wasn't recruited by every college program." D'Anthony Langston. It was clear right out of the gate a season ago that this wasn't an ordinary rookie. Being 23 years old in his first season, he had a polished offensive skill set and there was no time wasted in showing it off under coach Erik Spoelstra, and Jaquez solidified a regular rotation spot early on. The footwork with the ball in his hands, decision-making and IQ was elite right out of the gate for someone playing their first NBA season. Jaquez was a rookie stuck in a veteran's body, with Jimmy Butler even mentioning it took years for him to learn similar offensive footwork. During Miami's Christmas Day victory against the Philadelphia 76ers, Jaquez displayed his abilities on a national stage. He dropped a career-high 31 points and 10 rebounds, leading the way to a win without the services of Butler. It was then that fan bases around the league started to realize he was legit. A hamstring injury ultimately slowed down Jaquez's strong start to the season after missing 7 consecutive games. But the crafty first-year wing was able to work his way back into a groove and provide strong performances by the postseason. He found himself as the starting small forward during the Heat's play-in win against the Chicago Bulls and the first-round series against the Boston Celtics. Jaquez recorded 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists on efficient shooting to punch Miami a ticket to their 5th consecutive playoffs. There is some clear versatility in his all-around game, and he has a strong work ethic to keep improving. He recently has been aiming to improve his three-point shot over this offseason. The intangibles are already there for Jaquez, and the sky's the limit for the type of player he can evolve in at such a young age. Miami indeed found the steal of the draft once again. Dwayne Wade cannot compare to Team USA Stephen Curry, says NBA champion. Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade stood out from the crowd with the 2008 Redeem Team, but apparently cannot compare to another Team USA star. Quinn Cook, a former teammate of Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry, won 2 titles in his 5-year NBA career. Playing alongside Curry for 2 seasons was enough to convince him the greatest shooter of all time is superior to Wade, at least on the Olympic stage. D-Wade don't want no parts of Steph, Cook exclaimed on Above the Rim with DH12. I'm talking about the number 1 point guard of all time. The room, including former All-Stars Dwight Howard and DeMarcus Cousins, erupted in shouts of disagreement. Many believe Wade's 2008 campaign alone trumps the ongoing play of Curry in Paris. Wade was asked on social media how many points he would average on this Olympic team at his age. His answer was vintage. 36 cups of water giving out, 50 high fives, 48 towels thrown to the players and nothing but jokes, Wade posted to X, because my ass can't play anymore. It's been over. The Hall of Famer retired in 2019, averaging 22 points for his career. His passion now comes from praising his former peers rather than playing alongside them. Warriors' next trade target after whiffing on Lauri Markkanen is obvious. The Utah Jazz are officially removing Lauri Markkanen from the NBA trade market. The 27-year-old forward is expected to ink a long-term contract extension in the coming days, according to Shams Charania, Anthony Slater, and Tony Jones of The Athletic. The All-Star's new deal will pay him upwards of $200 million over a 5-year period, tying him to the Jazz franchise through 2029. It will involve a renegotiation of Markkanen's current deal, with Utah using its $33 million of open cap space to add to Markkanen's current $18 million salary. He is eligible to make up to $42.2 million during the 2024-25 campaign. That is the richest contract in Jazz history, a well-deserved honor for Markkanen. He was a highly coveted trade asset across the league, with the most notable interest stemming from the Golden State Warriors. In the end, however, the Dubs never came close to meeting Utah's high asking price. Markkanen wanted to stay with the Jazz, and he's willing to see through a rebuild. That is a rare level of commitment from a star in a small market. Markkanen was positively electric last season, averaging 23.2 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 2.0 assists on .480/.399/.899 splits in 33.1 minutes. He was fractions of percentage points from a 50/40/90 season as a true 7-footer, which speaks to the special nature of Markkanen's skill level. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA, packaged in a frame that is perfect for the modern NBA. This contract should age like a fine wine as the NBA's salary cap blooms with the new TV deal. Markkanen's impact is not predicated on athleticism, so he should remain effective for a while. Now, let's talk about Golden State. What comes next for the Warriors, who are clearly in the market for another All-Star to elevate the roster around Stephen Curry? Well, there are multiple options, but one clear best outcome. Jimmy Butler enters the final year of his contract with the Miami Heat without an extension. He has expressed his desire to stick in Miami and at least finish out the season, but there is a palpable disconnect between Butler and the front office. The Heat are probably weary of Butler's regular season absences and selective effort. He's a postseason assassin, but it only matters if the Heat can confidently make the playoffs every season, not barely scrape in. Before Butler's short-term commitment to Miami was firmly reported, the Warriors and the Philadelphia 76ers were teams overtly connected to the 34-year-old All-Star. Well, the Sixers just signed Paul George. There's a good chance Butler isn't really available until next summer, but the Dubs should absolutely keep their asset trove stocked in anticipation of a run at the two-time Eastern Conference champ. The Warriors won't have the money to sign Butler outright, but he becomes an immediately appealing sign-and-trade candidate. Due to his age and contract situation, odds are Butler wouldn't cost half as much as Markkanen in terms of a return package. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.